Tradespoon and Yellow Tunnel, my name is Carpel. I'm CEO and founder of both companies, and today we're going to have a live trading room open to trade stock and options. Using our technology, for those of you who are new, welcome. If this is your first live event, do me a favor, type in first. Always want to welcome new subscribers. Disclosures are very important. Please read them. If you're new to trading stock or options, or if this is the first time you see the screen, I encourage you to visit optionscreening.com. The link on your screen to understand the risk and suitability of trading stock and options. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not registered. Oh, John, how are you? LA Lily calls are working. Great. Keith is here. Everybody's here. All right. So I encourage you to visit the link on your screen, and you can always pause to read the disclosures. And bottom line, I'm not an advisor. I'm here to show you what I do in my own account based on my own risk tolerance level for general education and information purposes only. Trading psychology is important. Again, the goal is to become disciplined, mechanical, confident trader. Good morning, Elmar. Good morning, Russell. Happy Friday, indeed. Happy Friday. How do you do that? A lot of it, from my perspective, is kind of a building repetitive process that you can first document in writing in your trading plan, right? To document how many positions you have and what is the maximum risk you have per position, right? Your drawdown and cash, right? And you always do the same type of trades in terms of whatever the strategy is. Let's say we were talking about Meta earnings, right? The trade went against us. You want to write down in your rule, do you hold the position through the night with the hope that stock goes in your direction, or do you always close the same day? I personally, based on my experience, close the same day, but it's a flip of a coin, right? If unemployment went down and we did not impose the 30% tariff on Canada, then the market would have been up, right? And most likely Meta would be up, and then it would have been maximum loss, right? We closed the spread with Fred for around $7 yesterday, right? Today it would have been either 10, or I didn't even look at what the pre-market Meta, let's see what the Meta is. Because it's the 7, let's see. I think we did what, 7.6? Yeah, so it's 760, right? So we did 760, 70 cents, right? So I mean, it could be right. It could have been either $10, so a maximum loss, or if it closes at this level, it would have been maximum gain. But it's not. I think it's more of an element of luck, right? Or unless you have a strong opinion about tariffs and unemployment data. If you don't, then you wait. I mean, or if you thought that the market is overbought. But Eli Lilly is up nicely, very nice. So that's important, right? To be consistent, write down the rules, and you don't want to do one day you hold the position or through the night and one you don't, right? Just based on feelings. So I think that's important, and that's how you can become disciplined trader. You always risk the same amount, same number of trades, and same setup, right? You hold in the position in similar amount of time, right? If you're doing weekly trader, then you hold it for a week, 2 weeks. If you're doing day trading, you hold it for a couple hours, right? Or a couple days, right? And then, if it doesn't go in your direction, then you close and move on to the next trade. Cash, I propose 30% portfolio in cash. You can see market is probably building a top at this point. We're already in August, right? August 1st. So August, I think, past few years was a neutral, slightly higher. September, October has been bearish. So this is the time that I would probably start thinking about raising cash, especially if the tariffs persist, 30% on Canada, 30% on China. That would probably be negative unless there is a new information over the weekend that they reach an agreement in final hours or something along those lines. Since that level of uncertainty stays, concentrating on things that are within your control, such as number of positions, position size. All right, unemployment, all the numbers were revised down. I mean, it's still 4.2, 4.1, but you can see the initial reaction is significant drop in interest rates, right? 2-year yield is down 2.8%. I would keep an eye on this chart. I think that's probably the most important chart. This is fear of recession, right? Fear that unemployment is going to continue to go higher, and with elevated tariffs and with adoption of AI, more and more people will be laid off, right? So not a new signal. We're, in April when we had a tariffs liberation day announcement, we were at 390, but nonetheless, we're retesting July lows, we're retesting May lows. If I don't know, 4.15, 4.20 doesn't hold, we could drop to 3.9. I mean, so the initial reaction is negative to the unemployment data and to the 30% tariffs on Canada and China. So dollar dropped, right? Dollar tried to break through 100, pull back again on tariffs, and you can see VIX jumped to 19, so pretty large movement in VIX. We had a 20 print. So VIX again at that level where anything above 20 considered to be elevated fear. Right, so VIX is back to 20, value stocks down 0.5%, QQQ down 1, SMH, Spiders is at 626. Okay, so let's say most people are still probably bullish, and where's the next support and resistance levels? So let's look at the Tradespoon. And again, I apologize, we have issues displaying orders and positions. So that issue has not been resolved, hopefully over the weekend. But stock forecast toolbox, everything else works except the orders and positions. So stock forecast 630 support, 640 model is turning neutral, basically saying doesn't see a lot of momentum to the upside or to the downside. We're already below 630, and the flip point on gamma is on SPX is 625, 628, and put wall is at 6,300. So let's see. So the highest concentration of, let's see, SPX. I'm sorry. Let's see SPY. So gamma 600. We have 600 is the put wall. Again, we're updating this data. I'm looking at the most recent. So 630, right? This is where the highest concentration is of puts. We broke through this level, 625. So next level is, assuming this level doesn't hold, which we're already getting to oversold, next level is 620. And I would look at SPX. Let's see. SPX, we opened at, let's see. So we broke through the 6,300, right? We have a drop, and next level is basically 6,200, right? So on SPX, the next level of highest position is, we broke through the 6,300. So I would watch this level. What used to be a support now becomes an overhead resistance, and we are in negative gamma. So net gamma for dealers overall is negative. So that means that the sell of, this could be a magnet or it could be a repellent, right? Where it could accelerate to the downside. So, if we see 6,200 print by, end of the day, I would not be surprised, right? Because that's the next level, and that's the July low, right? So we're on its way to retest July low, right? And that's where the gamma, because most people get caught by surprise and did not hedge, that move could accelerate quickly to the 6,200. So let's say you're, well, I don't know, today probably most people are bearish. First of all, I would wait for the dust to settle, right? This is the rule, wait till the end of day to make a decision, right? Because you could have another announcement when the market reverses, or we could just continue grinding lower to 6,200. So this is a support 6,200. We're about 60 points away, right? So let's say you were bullish and you think this is, temporary and the market will recover. Earnings from Meta were very good. Microsoft had a good earnings. Apple had a good earnings, and AI theme continues, right? And unemployment is still low, right? This is just kind of an excuse for people to pull back. So 6,200, right? 626, 620. If it's trading SPY, you're about, let's actually do SPY.
Yeah, I do.
So and it's close to 50-day moving average, right? So 620, this level, right? So this is your support, main support, right? As long as we're above 50-day moving average, above 615, 620, I think this is potentially time to buy. But I would wait, obviously, for stabilization. So I would use maybe 615, so 10 points to the downside. Volatility is picking up, so I would widen your stop levels, right? Reduce your position size, widen because volatility is picking up. So let's say you think that July lows will hold, right? And 6,200 and SPX will hold. Then you have 10 points to the downside, right? As your stop level.
Yeah, sure.
Next level is 6. We've still highest concentration of puts. If you look at all strikes, all expiration months is at 600, right? That's a nice round number. This is if you're holding position for more than a week, more than 2 weeks. So that's about 25 points, right? So based on your style of trading, right, how long you hold, if you hold in position for a couple of days, right, a couple hours, I would use 1.5%, 10 points stop loss at this point if you decide to go long. And then if you're holding position longer, right, you don't care about every hour fluctuation or couple day fluctuation, you think this is an opportunity, then I would buy. For now, I would wait and see what happens, right? Because the volatility is going to pick up, and now it's about new information coming from the new White House, right? Tariffs on, tariffs off, 50% on copper, 50% on copper products, or not, or raw copper products. All of this information will cause the market to move. So you want some kind of stabilization. So I would wait till end of day to rebalance your portfolio. So then you would just divide on $10,000 account. I would propose to risk no more than $250. So that's 2.5%. And then you just divide 250 by 10. If you're a short-term aggressive trader, right, then you would buy 25 shares of SPY. If you don't like to make short-term decision, you hold position for a week, a couple of weeks, then I would just divide by 25. Right? And that would be my exposure to the market. Any questions? And you can see small caps, right? They're more sensitive to interest rates, tariffs. They're below 200-day moving average, testing 50-day moving average, broke through that neckline, 220. So they're already broke through July lows. Next level is this 215, right? Very important level. So small caps are already at 50-day moving average, right? I would keep an eye. You can see high beta stocks like ARK Innovation. You have a sharp drop. Gold, right? Gold rallies. So kind of a called risk-off trade, right? Risk-off trade across all asset classes, including Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is also broke through 20-day moving average on its way to 50-day moving average, right? So similar to NSPX is at broke through 6,300. So right now 6,300 is your main, because that is the concentration. This would be, if you're overly exposed to that 6,300, I would consider trimming your long positions. If you're underweight in securities than 6,200 where I would weigh, right? By the end of the day, we could be at 6,300 if there is a new tweet that we reach an agreement with Canada, or maybe over the weekend we reach an agreement with Canada, or we could be at 6,200 if there is indication that, you know, we're not reaching agreement with Canada or China anytime soon. Short, yeah, you can use. I don't like using leverage ETFs like SQQQ. I mean, we can trade options. I mean, you can trade options. I mean, you can sell short QQQ, or you can sell short spiders. Leveraged ETFs, you just have to be careful. I usually stay away from them. But you know, obviously, if you're right on the timing and magnetic direction, they're all going to work the same way. All right. So S&P down 1.25%, Nvidia down 2.5%, Bitcoin down 1%, Google down, Platinum. Okay, let's look at the earnings. Let's look at the earnings. Coinbase continues to grind high, down 13% after the earnings. Delta Airline dropped 7%. All right. Caterpillar is down 2.5%. Bank of America down 3%. JP Morgan down 3%. So Amazon is down 6% after the earnings. Apple is up, still up 1% after the earnings. So Apple had better than expected earnings. Gold up, gold miners up, silver is up. Germany continues to drop. Japan looks like trying to find support. Looks like India is trying to find support. So you can see that trading away from United States kind of also, this trade was done too fast. So you can see outside of the United States, whether it's Germany, Europe, Japan, Mexico, they're all kind of giving up some of its gains. And smalls are below 215, so I would watch the small caps. VIX is at 20. People buying home builders, so that's a good sign. Consumer staples, healthcare, so people are still no panic, right? When people buy healthcare, consumer staples, kind of safety asset classes, or home builders for that matter, then that's still no panic in the market. Let's see. Any other questions? So Amazon had sent out email. Let's look how much is the spread. So since you can, since the API still doesn't work, I'll just double check that. I don't think it does. You know, you can't see my order, but you know, I did send out an email. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's gonna come back. All right. So let me review my brokerage account and see. All right, so Amazon 217.5 put and 215 put. That's what I was saying. So 217.5, we were close, right? We're 1% away. So at this point, 217.5 put is trading at $1.30, and that's the price I sold. So you could close it, probably break even, maybe a small loss at this point. So that's something I would consider doing. You can, I mean, 240, 250 call spread. That's debit spread. August 15th. Still worth 50 cents, but majority of the premium is done. But the credit put spread right now is breaking even. So if you think that SPX will hold, right, we're at 62.50, right, 62.50, then I would close. Otherwise, I mean, I wouldn't close, wait till the end of the day, or if you think the rebound will continue, then you could close it sooner. Let me know if you have any questions on the Amazon put spread to 17.5. Actually trading right now at 95 cents. You can close it for small profit. Okay. So I'm going to close in case there is a the sell-off accelerates second half, right? You could always have a rebound and then sell off towards the end of the day. And I mean, but obviously you can have news that could reverse the trade. All right, so that's Amazon. And what else? Apple talked about kind of similar trade, sell and put spread, buy and call spread. That's going in the right direction for now. Put spread will expire worthless, and call spread you would have till August 15. Boy, we're talking about 220 call us yesterday. So 220 call. I mean, market has to reverse in the next week or so for the call spreads. But call spreads, I mean, down 220 calls, down 50%. Put spreads obviously is worthless at this point. All right. So that's Amazon. Apple. Let's see, Coinbase is at 325. All right, Coinbase is at this point all in the money. So it's down 13%. So we need a big reversal off of 6,200 level on SPX. All right. All right, any other questions on the spread? So text alerts, we will send text alerts manually. It's not going to be synced with the trades, but we will send the text alerts. So when we close the paid program or any other trades, if I close them, you will get an email on yellow tunnel, you will get alerts. Have a great day. Thank you, Fred. Yeah, see you at the closing bell. Any other questions? All right, so let's review the other positions. Watch. All right. So we talked about KR, right? Kroger. Looks like it's actually the 70 level, right? Most highest position was at 70. We talked yesterday. On the down day, Kroger actually reversing. And again, this is a flight to safety. Right? So Kroger is actually recovering nicely off a 50-day moving average, trading higher. So that's good, up almost 2%. Delta Airline, I would exit by the end of the day, right? So it closed the gap. At this point, I'm down down 2.5%. So I'm going to close both the spread and the stock. So by end of the day. So I'm going to exit out of the Delta Airline. JP Morgan, I did trim the stock position. So I do only have half of the original stock position. I still have a spread, but that expires in September. So now I'm going to wait and see, because the JP Morgan spread, I have a September spread to, I think, 295, 305, and then the stock half a position. So for now, I'm going to see if the 50-day moving average, it's retesting July lows, right? So JP Morgan for now, I'm going to wait. Delta Airline, I'm going to exit out. Kroger, probably exit out too. We'll see. I have to look at my cost basis. What else? And Keith will go over the paid program, but for now, obviously, market is reversing. We need the market to come back up. But Caterpillar is down, Nvidia is down. I mean, most of the stocks are down, 3% down. Amazon is down 6%. And Spider is down close to 2%. So we're retesting July lows around 620, 618. Any question? VIX is 20. Materials down 1.5%. So let's look at summarize. Let's look at the weekly chart. All right, so materials, we have a sharp drop in material this week. Retail, sharp drop in retail. Energy, sharp drop in metals and miners. Consumer discretionary, healthcare. Utilities up. So utilities is one place we can hide. How's ES doing? Yeah. ES is down 70 basis points. So majority of the stocks. So utilities are actually still holding up. Invesco, sharp drop in Invesco. That was a momentum stock. So consumer staples is, no new signal. XLK is rolling over, right, down 2%. Industrials on 2%. So sharp pullback in industrials this week. Banks, similar picture. And we talked about energy materials. Home builders is also sharp pullback. Philip Morris. Philip Morris is up, but still had a sharp ultra. Yeah, ultra is breaking out. So you can see flight to safety, whether it's Kroger or ultra. See, Walmart was a signal recently. Is Walmart up? Yeah, Walmart is up as well. Telecommunication continued to underperform. Transportation continued to weak, sharp pullback. All right, let's see what else. Let's see how's Amazon. So Amazon, yeah, you have an original wave rebound, and now it's kind of following the market, continues to deteriorate. Questions? Any questions on Discord? Let's see. Happy Friday. All right, Rossers, Lady Gaddafi, Muffin, Cherry Blossom, Elmark, Patty. Welcome to the broadcast, Patty. Let's see.
Which is the next one. And I missed that train by 1 minute, like 30 seconds. And I must have hit every red light on the way to that train station. So that's much. If I would have just seen one of those, I would have been working. Yeah. Yeah. Did you make it in that time? No. How delayed were you?
All right, so let's look at the rest of the positions.
I missed that train by 1 minute from Alpha. You got on at 8:11? No, I got on at 7:11. Oh, I'm sorry, that's at 7:11. So, yeah, I missed that train by 1 minute. Aurora, they had no trains leaving from there. Yeah, yeah. And there was a derailment, that's what it is. Yeah. I didn't see it. There was a Channel 7 helicopter flying over.
CSX, let's look at CSX.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we're gonna exit out this position today. So CSX also rolled over with the rest of the market. And started with the acquisition, merger and acquisition news on UNP, but yeah, CSX is down as well.
True. But what are those Oswego kids gonna do for getting them to Lala? Take it from Route 59. Touch your pearls.
So Meta continues to be down. What's the Bitcoin doing? Yeah, looks like it broke through that support, closed the gap. So we'll see if it holds the gap. All right, any other questions? Thank you, Ted. All right, let me see. Any other questions? So the most important chart I mean, you want stabilization in interest rates, right? So we're approaching kind of oversold level at 420, right? So I mean, right now we're retesting July lows already on 10-year yield, and 410 would be the May low. So those are levels that are important. As long as interest rates continue to go down, I think market is going to continue to pull back. So I think that's probably the most important chart. And again, we're retesting important levels. So small caps are leading the drop, right? So I would watch the small caps. We're below 215, 213 level. And so that's bearish. Semiconductors, let's see, semiconductors we retest in July lows, right? So similar to QQQ and spiders. And position, I mean, next level of support would be 6,200 on SPX. Right. We talked about that this is 6,200, 650, 6,150, right? That's the breakout level, right? I mean, there's a market above the February high breakout. I mean, this could be considered healthy pullback, right? If we drop below 615, right, then that would open the door to 6,000, right? But first thing first, I would keep an eye on 6. We're 0.5% away. I mean, I assume it's going to hold today, and that's something low to hold, and that would be July low. Yeah, so this would be this month's low. So 6,200, we're not that far away. Any questions? Dead weight for Keith and Caterpillar. The market is oversold. It's approaching 6,200 level. At this point, I think, I mean, it's 9 o'clock. I mean, the only thing that can save this market, I assume, is some kind of a tweet that, you know, we, you know, reach an agreement with Canada, right? It's an overreaction. Otherwise, I mean, you could have a bounce from the 6,200, right? So at this point, I think you can wait for Keith, right? Or you can apply the rule of 2.5%. If the Caterpillar position, if you're down to 2.5%, I would exit, right? I would not wait till end of the day because we could break 6,200, right? Again, the gamma is negative now, so dealers have to hedge. And since everybody's getting caught off guard with the negative gamma, the sell-off could accelerate. 6,200 does not have to hold. I mean, you do have a high concentration of puts, but we can quickly drop to 615, 6,100. So I would apply rule, you're down 2.5% per position, I'm out, right? Like Delta Airline, I'm out, I'm down more than 2.5%. JP Morgan, I don't have the quotes in front of me, but I assume I'm not down 2.5% because I trimmed the stock position and option is the September spread. So that I would wait. So the only position right now outside of paid program would be the closing Delta Airline. For paid program, I mean, I would close all the positions, whether you close in now when the market is oversold with the hope for at least short-term bounce off of 6,200. I mean, that's fine. I mean, obviously, market is oversold by any I mean, it was extremely overbought long term and medium term, but short term, it's getting to these extreme levels. We haven't had 2% move in SPX, you know, since April, right? This is the biggest move since the Liberation Day, right? So this is kind of a Liberation Day part two. The question is, you know, which levels will hold. So paid program, I would just close all the positions today, whether you close in now or, I mean, I usually like to wait till end of day because right now it might be too late. But that would be my approach. Keith will be back at 2 p.m. Central, and you know he'll let you guys know what. But you should get an email and you get a text message on the paid program, and I will send an email and a text message on closing Delta Airline. Other than that, that rule of having 4 positions only, I mean, that's good, right? When the market sells off sharply and being diversified, right? Kroger actually up, so that's good. JP Morgan, we closed half of the position. I mean, Delta Airline was a losing trade. I don't know what else do we have. And NVIDIA, I mean, that's a paid program. Will be out as well. I mean, right. I mean, we're just one tweet away from rebound. If we don't have a tweet, then probably, we're probably not going to rebound. Right? But we're oversold, so I assume the 6,200 level will hold. Right, and you can see we tested 6,200 to the penny on July 16. We tested on July 3rd. We tested on July 1st. So it's probably going to take at least, some time to break through the 6,200. Right? So, and we're right there. So at this point, that's why I like to wait till end of day. Yeah. Say again? 625 wouldn't be that hard for the market to do. Right, 625, yeah. I mean, we could try to at least retest the open print, right, 6280. But buyers have to step in, and for now there are no buyers, and VIX is right at that 20 level where people are getting nervous, right? Right, they're getting nervous. Ted, I think I would use both rules. So if the option position is down 50%, I would exit, right? Especially if it's August, right? August position, if you're down 50%, it's almost very difficult to recover, right? Unless you have a V-shaped recovery. September position, like JP Morgan, I mean, if you're down 50%, then, I think you just need to be consistent, right? You can exit out or you can wait, right? At least for some kind of a stabilization. Right? John, nice trade on Tina and Shaq. Okay, very nice. Move to the downside, right? I shorted Coinbase stock to hedge my spread, but I closed it yesterday. I should have waited till today. It's down 15%. All right. Any other questions? All right, guys, I'll be back at the strategy roundtable in the next 20 minutes. So if you guys have more questions, we can meet again on Tradespoon platform at 9:30 a.m. Thank you very much and have a great day. Thank you, John.